And welcome back to the Film School for Marketers podcast. This is episode number 11. We're so glad you're here with us today. As always, I am Zach Basner, joined by my co-host, Mariah Anderson. And today we have a very, very special guest, Miss Stephanie Baiocchi from Impact. Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Hello, welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Super glad you're here today. We've got some cool stuff to talk about. Stephanie, before we get into all the great things that you do with video for us here at Impact, why don't you tell the folks exactly what you do here?
Sure. So my official title is Director of Audience Engagement and Community. And if that sounds made up, it's because it is. But I made it up, so I get to keep it. But it really does encompass everything I do, which is engage the entire community, everyone who follows Impact as the go-to source for all things inbound marketing in everything that we do. So making sure that everyone knows all the resources we have available, they know that they can come to us with questions, and our official home of our online community, Impact Elite, which is our Facebook group. And then I also, as part of the audience piece of my job, maintain our contact database, make sure that everyone's opted in appropriately, contact data is clean, and attempt to work on all that.
What can you give us a little more information about Impact Elite? Like, what is it? Like what?
Yeah, absolutely. So Impact Elite is our Facebook group. Like I said, it's a closed group. So if you want to join, impactbnd.com/elite. And there's a couple of questions you have to answer, real simple. And then I guess I'll let you in. And it is a place where inbound professionals of all types, sales, marketing, customer success, business owners, HR, anybody can come and learn about all things inbound. So we have people sharing work that they've done and asking for feedback on it, asking questions, very broad questions, or sometimes really specific questions. And we have this whole community of nearly 5,000 inbound professionals at this point who can help answer each other's questions. So it's really, really great, vibrant community. I love it. I'm impressed by the people in it every day.
It's so engaged too. Like people are always asking questions, giving feedback. So join.
Yeah.
Stephanie, when did Impact Elite start, and what was really the purpose behind that?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I wasn't here when Impact Elite started. It actually began as a Facebook group around Impact Live, the first time that we did the event 2 years ago in 2017. And Impact Live is our annual in-person event where our community comes together to learn in person in Connecticut. The beginning of the group itself, it was called the Impact Live group. Actually, I think it was called Impact Marketing, then Impact Live, then Impact Elite in, I want to say, June or July, near Impact Live. And so once they landed on Impact Elite, there's actually a blog post we can give you for the show notes where Bob, our CEO, talks about why they started the group. But essentially, the mission of it hasn't changed. We wanted it to be a place where inbound professionals could come together and ask questions and learn from one another. And it's stayed that way. I joined Impact in February of 2018, so a little over a year ago. And we had about 1,500 people in the community now, and we're already just so close to 5,000.
Wow. That's amazing. So there's a lot of things that have happened with video since that group has started. How have you made sure to stay up with the latest trends of video and implement that in the community? And what are the major ways you're using it?
Yeah. So, I mean, aside from bugging you all the time with my questions and recording bunch of videos.
No, you never bug me, Steph.
Thanks. When I first started at Impact, we had seen actually Marcus Sheridan had done a video for his Facebook page. I don't remember which one it was, but it was I think you guys filmed it at Inbound. And it was a really nice intro of hey, welcome to our Facebook page. This is what you're going to get from this page. And we saw that and just decided we need something like this for when people join Elite. There was some welcome content that was pinned at the top. So in Facebook groups, you can pin an announcement with some rules and some welcome information, but we didn't have a video. So right after I started and I flew to Connecticut, we decided we need to record a welcome video. So it was me standing in the office saying, hi, everyone, welcome to Impact Elite. If you have a question, please post it. Don't just watch what's going on. Make sure you jump in and engage. If you're not so sure about what to do, feel free to reach out to me directly via a Facebook message or an email, because I'm your girl on the inside and I'll help you get an answer. And it was a good place to start, right? That video was up there for a little under a year, and a couple months ago when I was back in the office in January, we decided it was time to step it up, do V2. Some of the things we had learned just from having that video up there, people watched it, people commented on it. People did Facebook message me directly with their questions. So telling people, like, if you're hesitant about something, instead of just playing it safe and not doing it, you can ask me privately, and that's okay. That was definitely a successful piece of the video.
I mean, that even shows you that, like, I feel like some people do join groups and they feel like stupid asking like questions or hesitations they have, but it shows that I think that level of warmth that you bring via video, like, definitely came across and people felt comfortable with you so quickly.
And, you know, the internet is a tough place. I know that. We all know that. And it's hard to be vulnerable, especially when you know that the comments coming back could be from people who forget that on the other side of that computer screen, there's a real person there. And so I try to lead with vulnerability and authenticity and show, here is my voice, my face. I am here for you. And I am leading with this vulnerable, authentic movement of doing a video. And I hope that you will do the same. I mean, as I know you guys have said on even the last episode, we are all in the business of trust. And how are we going to trust each other to provide feedback and be respectful if we're not building trust by seeing and hearing each other? And so I wanted to start with that.
I love that.
Gosh. That's so important.
It is. And we've talked, actually, Stephanie and I, we communicate a lot. We're on the same team, and we talk a lot about how I think people forget when you don't have something like video that it's a real human on the other side of what you say or what you do.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not great what you're on the receiving end of when you're on the front lines like Stephanie and I are. But I think video actually helps with that a little bit. So aside from that welcome video that you have, like, what are some other types of video that you've been using within community engagement?
Absolutely. So I love, we've only done this a couple of times, I think 2 or 3 times, but I love using video to celebrate a milestone. So when we hit 2,000 members, when we hit 3,000 members, when we hit 4,000 members, so 3 times, we did a video. And the first one was I got I think it was 2,000th member, I'd have to check, on a video with me to say, like, congratulations and welcome to our new member who's member number 2,000. And then
how is that possible?
That's a great question. So in this case, we used Zoom, and she didn't have the best lighting in her office, but we made it work. We tried opening some windows and testing it out a little before we hit record. We recorded it, and then I didn't even edit that video at all. I just uploaded it natively directly onto Impact Elite on Facebook, and it was really simple. So that was one. And then I think the most fun I had was when we hit 4,000 members. I don't remember actually which number it was. There was one I did where we asked for testimonial video clips from people in Elite. And so I said, if you're a member of Elite and you're enjoying it, send me a quick little clip of what you like about the group, and I'm going to compile them and make this great video. And it was fun. It was great once we got it done. But what I learned was you need to specify horizontal video because I got a lot of really, really great videos on a cell phone, kind of Snapchat, Instagram story style, that were vertical. And this was a video that was going to be horizontal. It had a whole lower third and design to it. And we couldn't quite squeeze in those vertical videos. So we had to ask a couple people to redo them. So lesson learned. Tell people specifically what you need if you're requesting a video and you can't be there to help with it. And then the third one that we did that I loved was, I think it was when we hit 3,000 members. I went up to the rooftop of my co-working space here in Chicago. And I said, I'm so excited. I just want to shout it from the rooftops. We've hit 3,000 members. And I literally went over to the edge of the rooftop and shouted, Impact Elite has 3,000 members. And that was fun because it's just something different, you know?
That was my favorite. I remember that one very clearly. I talk about that one sometimes.
I like that one.
Yeah.
There's so many videos we've done.
And Steph, I think an important thing to point out here is a lot of the stuff is one-to-one video being recorded with GoVideo, right?
Yeah. So actually I do an Impact Elite update every other week that I do using GoVideo, which is a one-to-one that I do in email. So every other week I do a 60-second recap of the best things that have happened in Elite in the past 2 weeks. I cram it into one 60-second video and I send it off to the email subscriber list. And I try to do it in a different place every week, but always with GoVideo.
What makes you choose to do the GoVideo route versus like actually using a camera and doing all of that?
So a couple of things. First of all, choosing to use Go Video is just fast. It's convenient. I open up the extension, I hit record, I do my video, I'm done. Like it's so quick. It doesn't involve setting up a tripod or opening up Zoom, making sure my lighting's okay. I mean, I still care about my lighting, but it's just so quick and efficient. And then I have analytics on the other end of it. So I can see how many people are watching my video, who's watching it, how much of it they're watching. And if I'm going to be doing this every other week, that's one of the major ways that I'm able to measure if it's working or not, is if people are watching the video. And I wouldn't probably know that otherwise unless I uploaded a video to Vidyard, which is, again, much more time.
What is some of the responses you've got? Like, I know you've heard from some people actually.
Definitely. Yeah. I've gotten a drastically different response to the Go Video and email updates than some of the other videos, like the live videos we've done, which we can come back to. But the Go Video emails, I've gotten two types of responses mostly. One is, oh my gosh, I love this. That was great. This was really interesting. Someone even said, I'm going to copy this and do it for our blog. I'm going to do a 60-second recap video for ours. I was like, that's great. I'm so glad to hear it. And then I've also gotten a lot of responses of people saying, how do you do that? I want to do the same thing.
I need to record a video for the Film School for Marketers Facebook group to put at the top that says, welcome to the page. Because when we did that for Marcus's page, I mean, game changer, hello, it like welcomes people to the group. That's really important. And they should know who's like, they should be able to see my face and know who's kind of behind it, pulling the strings. Yeah. And then you're sending the one-to-one videos on a bi-weekly basis to do a recap of what's been happening in the group. Is that right?
Yeah. And we decided to do that because people were giving us feedback when we asked, like, there's just so many Facebook notifications, or I have to turn off the group notifications. They're too much. There's too many discussions. And it is hard. There's a lot of notifications going on. So people said, I wish there was a way I could just like check on it once a week or check on it every other week. And so we made this digest and played around with the frequency a little bit. When I actually started at Impact, they were doing the roundup email for Impact Elite, but it did not include a video. It was it was less conversational email approach, didn't look so much like I wrote it. It was very designed, had actual CTA buttons, and we took it back to just be the real human Stephanie wrote this email version.
So for a marketing manager or videographer that's watching or listening to this, is there any other advice you'd give to them, especially for folks who are just getting started with maybe their company Facebook page or their company LinkedIn page or a group or things like that? Any other words of advice for how to start off with video?
Yeah, I would say that some of the things that maybe seem a little harder to do in your community, like address trolls and spam and making sure your rules are enforced, it's going to be so much more effective if you do it with a video because you can convey that tone. You're trying to help, you're being sympathetic to everyone's needs out of this community. It is so easy to write a list of rules and say, don't do this, don't do that, don't post this, don't post that. But if you make a video, you're, like I said, building trust, leading with that vulnerability, but also you have the ability to add tone and inflection and make it something that people can understand really easily. Oh, okay, this is for the benefit of the group. I understand. So I would say my advice is like, don't be afraid to make more than one video. Pin your welcome video, welcoming everyone, and then maybe direct them to the rules and do another video there and do a couple. I've done some shout out videos. We've done some live videos. We've played around with all kinds of things. And I would say to this point, no one's ever told me you're doing too many videos or I'm sick of the videos. I've never heard that.
That's good.
Which is good to know because I feel like some people actually they ask that often, or they say, well, I can't do too many, people are going to get annoyed by it. So
yeah, I've never once had that. And it's not for lack of asking.
Steph, one thing about Impact Elite that I love the most and why it's one of my favorite Facebook groups besides the Film School for Marketers Facebook group, make sure you search that and join everybody.
They're linked, so you can join them both.
They are linked. Actually, if you're a member of Impact Elite, you don't have to answer the questions to get into Film School for Marketers. You're already approved. Because if Stephanie approves you, you're good with me. You're good.
Sure.
We don't like sell from the stage, so to speak, right? We don't sell our impact services to the people who are in that group.
No, not at all.
I imagine not from having the wrong intentions, but I think it would be very easy for those who are getting started with a community to think, well, I've just got to keep posting and interacting and talking in here, and would fall victim to like well, let's talk about that one service that we've got. Let's talk about that new product that we have. What advice would you give people to stay kind of focused on the task at hand and keep the community valuable and, pretty objective?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say do a poll. Polls or questions, but polls specifically are great for communities online because a poll allows people to give you some feedback or guidance or answer a quick question about what they want to learn about or what they're struggling with or what they think of the community without having to come up with the answer on their own. Being able to choose from answers is just easier. And more people are going to do it. You can always have an other option. Do a poll, see what people want, and use that to guide your efforts. And then if there's ever a moment where you're thinking, I need to post something, I need to keep the engagement going, I'm going to talk about myself. If you ever hear yourself saying that or feel that, find someone else in the community, in another community you're in, and invite them in as an expert to share what they know. If you ever are like, I'm going to talk about myself, find someone else and invite them to talk instead. I promise you it will go over better.
Do you feel like there should be more effort put into a page or put into a group, kind of like we have, like this educational resource?
In a little way, and I rarely say this, it depends on your industry. For the most part, a community can be a great way to grow the group of people who rally around what you do and are interested in what you're interested in. Maybe they're not a great fit for you, but because they've built trust and found solutions and guidance and education in what you do, they will be a great word of mouth referral. I will say, depending on the industry, if it's something very B2C, and after years of being in social media myself, the better part of a decade, your page can still be really important. So if I'm going to a restaurant or a venue of any sort, and I want to see some pictures of the venue, some reviews, I want to know that they've maybe posted a drink special, yeah, your page is probably going to matter a little more than your community. Other than that, if you're not telling me what the pizza topping of the day is, I'm probably going to recommend you go for community.
Steph, would you give the same advice for LinkedIn company pages versus LinkedIn groups?
Oh, that's a good one. So LinkedIn has totally revamped their group structure recently. They're bringing more of the groups discussions into the normal feed of LinkedIn posts. So if you're scrolling through LinkedIn, you'll actually see posts from groups you're into, which didn't used to be the case. So that's great. Group members can get notifications for information in their groups. That's great. But it is really, really tough to overcome the inherent stigma that LinkedIn groups are just a spam bucket. It is just a dumpster for people dropping in their own self-promotional content. It has been for so long. I have no doubt that someone could create a really vibrant, great group on LinkedIn, but you will have to also fight the battle of proving to everyone that it's not a spammy group. But I think you could do it. I think LinkedIn pages are probably one of the things that people struggle with the most because, like I said, if you're going to a restaurant, you might go check out their Facebook page. If you want to hire a company, you'll go check out their website, maybe their Facebook page. LinkedIn is primarily, for being honest, a place for people to talk about themselves. I get to talk about what I'm doing at my job. I get to look for a new job. I could say that I'm hiring someone. People put their skills and their job titles in their profile title. And so it's not really a place for companies to do great things, at least in my experience. I've seen a couple, but for the most part, LinkedIn pages are also a struggle. So I would say, figure out where your audience is going. And this is true of whether you're doing a page or a community or both. Figure out where they are and go there. If they're on LinkedIn, figure it out. Put in the time and effort to make it work. But if they're not, don't waste your time.
So, Steph, you are the person I go to when I have any questions about pretty much any social media platform in existence. So I'm going to hit you rapid fire with different social media platforms.
Okay.
And tell me what you like or don't like about the video functionality on said platform.
All right. Hit me.
All right. So let's start with Facebook.
Facebook's video functionality differs so drastically from page to group to personal that it's so hard to keep up with. I did this thing on my page, I'm going to try in my group. And then all of a sudden you can't. This happened to me yesterday. It's so frustrating.
LinkedIn
has a video limit of 10 minutes.
That is frustrating.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. I mean, the second you post it, it's gone.
Instagram.
Oh, I like Instagram video.
Oh.
I don't think I have a negative thing to say.
I would say the big negative for Instagram is the lack of linking.
Yes. Okay. You're right. I will give you that. It's really hard to direct people to a resource from a LinkedIn video. Totally. Yeah. Unless you can swipe up or you're paid or monetized or all that.
Yeah.
Are we missing any other? I mean,
Snapchat.
Ones, right? Oh, Snapchat. Oh, snap.
I still use Snapchat.
Wait, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Do you use it, Zach?
I don't use Snapchat anymore. It kind of, I'll be honest with you. It got a little dicey at one point, and it was kind of like, there's a lot of weird things happening on Snapchat that I was like, you know what? I don't even need to be on this platform.
I just dove. I think it's so interesting because I do use it personally for a lot of reasons. I love Snapchat. It is the fastest way to send a video to 3 of my friends at once and have it retain its quality. So I do like that. But the changes that they made with the stories and the feed and being able to watch other people's kind of videos on demand, it, at least for most people that I've talked to and myself included, I don't even look at them anymore. I haven't watched a video that wasn't sent directly to me on Snapchat in a year.
Well, this has been really cool, Steph. I appreciate you coming on the episode today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime. We've done so many episodes of things together, Zach.
I know. We've been collaborating forever.
A long time.
So what's the next step, do you think? Do you have future plans for video within Impact Elite or within just your job as our director of community engagement or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, more video everywhere for sure. I'll just be doing more and more video. I want to work on integrating video into our community even more, hopefully trying to get more members of our community to post their videos in Elite. And I'm not talking marketing videos for feedback. I mean, like instead of typing out a question, maybe posting it as a video, especially if it's something a little, like I've seen questions in the community get misinterpreted and people have to ask clarifying questions because they don't understand the tone, and saying it in a video might be a really interesting way to overcome that, of course, with a related caption. That being said, it is tough because a lot of times I know even I'm on the train, I'm scrolling through communities and I can read a question. I can't always watch a video if it doesn't have captions because I don't have headphones and I can't have the audio playing. So kind of figuring out that balance is definitely something I'm interested in. And then I'm also working on our advocate community, which is called Insiders, which is a subset of Elite, I guess you could say. It's for the biggest fans of Impact specifically to come and share content and get rewarded for their contributions to the community, get Impact swag, all that good stuff. And I have not done very much video in there. And I think a video tutorial of how to use the platform, a welcome video, is absolutely my next focus. So that's the next step there for sure.
Awesome. You've got some great content too on engaging with a community and starting a community and how to do that. And we'll drop that in the show notes. But just for those who might be interested, you have a guide, right? It's a whole guide.
Yeah. So I have a like 14,000 word-ish guide to online community management, everything from how to decide where to build your community. If you need to hire a community manager, how to do that, how to get people in the community, promote it, and keep people engaged, and how to deal with the unavoidable, inevitable struggles of managing an online community. And of course there are videos. There's one video where I have a nice heart-to-heart with the true challenges of being an online community manager. And like Mariah said, some of the responses can be tough. So I'm here for you in that video.
Well, we really appreciate you, Stephanie, and so glad you're on. And I'm hoping that as this podcast continues to grow, we can pull you in. You bet. Keep us updated on all the social video happenings, because there's so much that is just going on all the time. And so we'd love to have you back.
I'd love to be back. If I do another crazy video off a rooftop, or like I go skydiving in a video or something, I'll definitely let you know.
For sure. We'll drop all Stephanie's socials in the show notes if you want to connect with her. We thank you so much for spending time with us today. We hope you learned a lot about how to grow your online community using video. And until we see you next time, keep learning.